Everyone loves big cats. Lions, tigers, and leopards are on the bucket list of all wildlife enthusiasts. The Big Five of Africa includes both the lion and the leopard. But there is one big cat that is often overlooked. A member of the new Big 12, this cat not only is a top predator, but also the fastest living land animal. Traveling over 50 miles per hour, it can chase down any prey. This, of course, is the cheetah. This week we head to one of the top national parks in Africa, or, for that matter, anywhere on Earth, to track this elusive feline, Kruger National Park in South Africa. There is probably no park in all of Africa with as diverse a collection of big game as Kruger. So join us today as we visit Kruger National Park. Hunt for the cheetah. Jumbo, I'm Bill Ball, and I'm going to be your guide on this episode of Journeys in Africa. And this is Africa.
The Africa experience was summed up by Ernest Hemingway when he said, "All I wanted to do was to get back to Africa. We had not left it yet, but when I would wake at night, I would lie, listening, homesick for it already." Join us each week as we explore the entire continent of Africa, from the plains of the Serengeti to the heights of Kilimanjaro and all points in between. We'll introduce you to the history, culture, and wildlife of one of the most exotic and extraordinary places on Earth. Journeys in Africa.
We have now ventured into the savanna of Kruger, which extends irregularly around the central zone of the park. The grassy landscape is a prime area for impala and other animals that are the chief prey for the speedy cheetah. Finally, we find our cheetah, and it's an unusual find at that. There are 3 adults all sitting together. This is quite odd because cheetah are more like leopards in that they are solitary hunters rather than lions, which hunt as a group. Upon closer examination, though, I realize that these are 2 cubs and their mom. Of course, these cubs are nearly ready to go off on their own, and in a week or 2 will, but it is a lucky find to get 3 for the price of 1. Cheetah are the smallest of the 3 big cats in Africa, weighing up to 150 pounds, as compared to 200 pounds for the leopard and 500 plus pounds for the lion. That makes the cheetah vulnerable to theft from both, as well as hyenas. This causes the cheetah to gorge and quickly hide their catch in bushes. Cheetah, as unlikely as this may sound at first, is the only spotted big cat in Africa. The leopard isn't really spotted. It has rosettas, whereas the cheetah actually has spots. Another distinctive feature of the cheetah is the teardrops that run from the inner corner of the eye to the corner of the mouth. This is the rarest of the 3 big African cats, with a worldwide population estimated at 7,500, with a South African population of about 850. In Kruger, there are an estimated 100 cheetah. This makes this spotted cat one of the rarest of the Big 12. At one time, cheetahs were found across Africa, the Middle East, and into India. Sometime in the last 10,000 years, the population crashed, maybe as low as 7 or 8 individuals. It could have been a widespread disease that affected specifically the cheetah, because there is no sign that lions or leopards had a similar population crash, or it could have been climatically related. Either way, cheetahs are almost all genetically the same, like twins. The few surviving animals became inbred. This makes them vulnerable to an epidemic and makes them difficult to breed. Nicknamed the greyhound of cats for their blazing speed, which can reach 50 miles per hour, they are the fastest land animal alive, but only as a sprinter, not a marathon runner. Females are territorial and will drive other females out of their claimed land. Males, on the other hand, are not and will roam through several females' territories. This is quite unusual for cats, where males tend to be the land grabbers. Another unusual trait for the cheetahs is that they are the only cat to not have retractable claws. They are more dog-like in that respect. This is probably to aid them in making sharp turns at high speed. We wanted to learn more about their efforts to preserve their numbers and reintroduce them into other parks. Just outside Kruger is a conservation center that specializes in just that. The Hood Spruce Sanctuary was established in 1990 by Lente Rude to help study and breed the rarest of the big cats. She still works every day with these elegant cats to hopefully reach a time when a cheetah sanctuary would not be necessary. Lente has built a special bond with these cats and is eager to involve guests so they leave with the same level of appreciation and respect she has for these swift hunters. We sat down with Lente and talked to her about her goals and needs for this remarkable wildlife center.
The Hood Spruce Endangered Species Center is breeding cheetahs, an endangered species of southern Africa, but it started with cheetahs. And the main thing with breeding cheetahs is they don't breed very well in captivity. So, and in the wild they're getting less and less and less. So it's very important to keep the bloodlines as pure as possible. To me, to release cheetahs is the ultimum. So on the game reserve, Kapama Game Reserve, we've released now cheetahs and they had offspring. So that is a big success to me. So it's very important for people to breed cheetahs in captivity, but it is very difficult. And I do it because I love it, and I'm very fortunate to be able to do this.
The sanctuary was founded to save the cheetah from extinction. Over 125 cheetahs have been released into the wild so far. Nina explained to me that no cheetah is given to a park, whether a national park or a private reserve, unless it meets a series of very strict criteria of prey to predator numbers. She does not want to doom the animals to failure and certain death. The sanctuary currently has 43 cheetahs and has been quite successful breeding these beautiful animals. The sanctuary, though, has grown to be much more than just a cheetah facility. We are taken to another section of the property to observe some of their newer programs. One of these programs is aimed at a Big 12 member even more endangered than the cheetah, the African wild dog. Once called the painted dog because of their mottled coat color, this is the rarest big carnivore in Africa. Sporting less than 5,000 worldwide and 400 in South Africa, of which 300 are found in Kruger, this is an animal that I have only seen a handful of times in the wild. Zoos and preserves around the world are breeding this fascinating creature, but none more successfully than the cheetah sanctuary. As you can see from the behavior here, these are a pack animal. Through cooperative hunting, are one of the most efficient predators with a high kill success rate. It was that efficiency and their need for large territories that have led to their downfall, as man once again persecuted them to the edge of extinction. The largest national parks and a few sanctuaries like this one are this canine's last hope. The sanctuary is also involved in programs with sable antelope, ground hornbills, and as a rescue center for orphaned and injured wildlife. But as head keeper Nina explains, the main focus is returning cheetahs to the wild.
We have obviously a wide variety of cheetahs here, and we do not know when the animals are born exactly who is going to be released and who is going to stay as be part of our breeding program. We find that generally we do not have problems with cheetah, just like domesticated cats that have been domesticated for thousands of years can still hunt successfully. These cheetah, although they might have been captive bred, are much closer to their wild counterparts than a cat is, and they are able to hunt successfully. What we do is we put our animals into a boma for approximately 3 months in order for them to get used to their new territory, and then the animals are released. All of our animals are released with radio collars. This is important for us. It allows us to track the animal to make sure that they are hunting successfully. This is particularly important in the first 3 or 4 months after the animal has been released. If the reserve has suitable territory free of large predators for the cheetah with suitable prey, then the animals will be released. As I said, they will be monitored, but so far we have, thankfully, a very good success rate with our wild cheetah.
We decide to stay at one of the private lodges this evening to get a taste of wild luxury. Our choice was Kapalma. The lodge is situated on their own preserve, which is connected to the Kruger Park. Kapalma is a high-end lodge with all of the amenities you could imagine. The rooms are sanctuaries for the guests, while the public areas include bars, spas, and restaurants aimed to treat and pamper you after a long day on the safari. Driving out for our last safari in the greater Kruger area on Kapalma land gives another perspective of the vastness of this park and the diversity of its wildlife. If there was any doubt that private reserves brought within Kruger's fence boundary yielded big game, it ended with seeing the lions just ahead. Big cats, especially lions, need large amounts of game that can only be guaranteed in a mega park. Likewise, elephants need huge areas to find the vast quantities of food and water that they need to survive. Kruger's huge boundaries allow large sustainable populations to exist. Both elephants and lions are finding their way now into the expanded private reserves.